Alright, a few more steps to go and almost done. So we're going to take our Y-rib that we played with earlier, go ahead and stick some nuts into this, 5 of them to be exact. This is going to go into those little slots. Tilt it a little bit to the side and make sure your belt goes in those little slits. And that's going to go, looks like just like that. Alright, once you have that, then you're going to want to go ahead and secure it with some bolts. Alright, go ahead and heat your glue gun up if you haven't done that already. Go ahead and double check all your bolts, make sure everything's nice and tight. You didn't forget anything. And it says now is the time you want to go ahead and tighten the belt here. Obviously we did that a few moments ago, but I might try and make it even a little bit tighter. Alright, that's nice and tight now. Alright, so let's double check everything. And like I said, heat up your glue gun because the next step is install these flange bearings and glue them in, and then we'll be done with this step at least. Alright, next step is to install these flange bearings. Make sure the lip, the rim, is on the inside of our box here. There should be 4 of them. This should snap pretty easy into place. Like that. I'm going to go ahead and dab a little bit of super glue, hot glue, whatever, on all these flanges to keep them in place. Alright, and when that's done, move your hot glue gun out of the way. Make sure you don't have any glue, but you know you do. And that should go through. Like that. And that should go through. Huh, that's interesting. So I guess I have a little issue. This is what they were talking about earlier with the bolt. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I know my video quality is not all that great, but the rod here rubs up against this bolt and it prevents it from moving freely. And so what it says to do is just cut off 5 millimeters of the bolt. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I got my Dremel here. You'd be surprised at how expensive it is to buy a millimeter ruler here in America. They're like 15 bucks just to buy a little cheap ruler from Walmart. So I'm just going to go ahead and notch it off the best I know how. So I've got some white out here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of, I don't really have a file either to notch it, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And I'm going to white out the threads that I don't need. So about to there. And what I'm going to do is then take all this apart. And so what the instructions recommend to do are to take all this apart and then just put one bolt on there. Reason being, after you cut it with your Dremel, it might be hard to re-thread it, and so the theory is the bolt will correct any threads that you don't cut straight. So I'm just going to take all this apart. I'm going to go ahead and put this bolt back on. And I don't have a vise, but I have vise grips. That's the same, right? Alright, and really carefully we're gonna cut this off, and hopefully not send sparks flying everywhere and or metal shards. So you only get one shot at this one, so don't screw it up. I'd recommend wearing glasses, but I don't have any. A few metal shards. I've got a rare earth magnet here. I'm going to come in and swoop up all these little metal shards. They're not getting in the way. Check that out. I don't know if you can see that. You see that? All that stuff. Okay, so now perfect. Perfect. So now let's do all this again. Alright, so that's much better. So you might have to also cut that bolt down. But now, this should go in here, and this should go in here. And these two, well, this I'm assuming would slide. If I can hold it right. I can't hold it. So like that. Both these move real easy. So perfect. There is our X stage and Y stage.